Hello everyone, I'm CoolGuy, welcome back. There's something I've been seeing more and more of, it's something that's always been there, but today I want to explore the sniper sidearm playstyle. I'm pretty excited to talk about it, the Sidearm. This isn't for everyone, but it can work as an aggressive or passive playstyle. As I was making the video, that's the main goal to talk about, the playstyle of using a sniper rifle with a sidearm. It's a loadout that has a long-range one-hit kill weapon and then pairing that with a sidearm. I want to talk about the good things about it, some of the bad things about it, and in this video, I'm also going to be talking about popular sidearms to pair with snipers. But as I played the playstyle, I fell in love with the arbalest sidearm combo. As you saw in the title, I call it the ArbaArm. Sounds funny, but it puts in work. I personally don't see arbalest sidearm used at all much out there, and I want to show you guys why I like it so much. At the end of the video, I do have a flawless card using arbalest with a sidearm. It's a really quick run through. Some matches only have a couple highlights. But I did go flawless with arbalest and a sidearm using the chromatic fire on a warlock. It was a really fun card. Now I know some of you aren't thrilled about using arbalest, and I'll get into why I like using that so much later on, but I do want to talk about the playstyle overall, using a sniper and a sidearm. On the sniper side, popular ones, we have the kinetic revoker, Energy the Beloved, and I've always said that for a sniper rifle it's about feel. That's from aim assist, to the zoom factor, to the look of the scope, it's to the player. Some use Bite of the Fox, some use Twilight Oath. It's about what you're comfortable with. Now Revoker, it's used for the ammo, it can take out supers, it has a low zoom, and for Beloved, it's a stat monster, it has great perks, it has great stats. But depending on the sniper you choose, that goes in one category, and your sidearm option is going to be in the other category. Now for the sidearms, various archetypes, and there is one specifically out there for you depending on how you want to play. Some do certain things a lot better than the others. There are fast-firing ones like Anonymous Autumn, hard-hitting ones like the Lonesome. All these have great, fantastic perks. There's lots of variety. Now, in the end, these two are about feel. And in this video, I do have some tips for sidearm play when you start getting into engagements. That's gonna be one of my main goals with the video, to help with those sidearm engagements. Now, the first question to answer is, why would you run a combination like this? Sniper sidearm, arbalest sidearm. As the game changes, some variety can come in, and some engagement spaces get less crowded. Those spaces get a little bit more competitive. We've seen an uptick with bastion usage. A lot of that has to do with erentil's overall range being nerfed, and even though erentil can still get longer ranged kills than bastion, bastion is very consistent, and a lot of you are finding that out. We also have the hard light nerf that freed up the exotic slot, so we're seeing a lot of 600 RPM legendary ARs paired with bastion. We had the shotgun cone angles tuned a little bit. We had the last word tuned a little bit. That close to mid range is wide open for variety. When you take a look at the traditional loadout, the sniper hand cannon, we saw that a lot in D1 and in early D2 when specials were made available to us. You have that dueling mid-range option, and that option can also clean up sniper body shots. Where it struggles is close range. Getting run down by shotguns or sidearms or fusions. You're gonna have a hand cannon in your hand. That's what you're defending yourself with. So last word has always been the best for that sniper hand cannon loadout. It's always been a very well-rounded loadout. But with this one, the sniper sidearm, you're gonna be covering yourself in extreme close range. And a sidearm will fare better than a regular hand cannon for rushers. And the sidearm gives a good option for short to mid, and mid to long, you're gonna have the sniper rifle. So while you're getting a better comfort zone for players that are rushing you, you're losing that true mid-range option, and you're losing the ability to clean up after a sniper body shot. These are the types of things that we're weighing. Now the gray area is mid-range. That's the trade-off. You accept that the sniper rifle is your mid to long, and the sidearm is for close and extending somewhat into mid-range. Not too long ago, the sidearms did get a target acquisition buff. They're more reliable, a little bit past their intended range, and this is a really good thing, because within range, they feel good in your hands. All around acquisition buff. So with this loadout, you have to move around the map with that mid-gray area in mind. Playing this playstyle is going to get you out of the open. It makes you play a little bit tighter, hugging walls to move, being next to cover. And once you start getting caught out in the open a couple times, using a sniper sidearm, you'll stop. It's a really good teaching tool for map navigation, because when you're out in those areas, you have a reaction snipe and that's about it. Sidearms have an optimal TTK ranging from 0.5 to 0.73. That's with all archetypes considered. For a primary weapon, these are some of the fastest time to kills in the game. Now the trade-off again is that they have this design space that they're in. And in that design space, you as a player have to be crafty. You need to get enemies within that space. because these sidearms are going to out TTK or time almost everything. The sidearm space as a whole is about 20 meters and in. That's where you can feel really good about landing shots. Most sidearms are going to start seeing fall off at about 17 meters. The faster firing ones are very lethal, 0.5 TTK for the 3 burst. There's a 0.67 relaxed TTK for the lightweights like Anonymous Autumn. Even these can get to 17, 18 meters starting fall off in optimal range, doing max damage up to that point. But these in particular need max range and rangefinder. Otherwise, most rolls, especially without rangefinder, are gonna start seeing fall off at about 15 meters. Other sidearms like the aggressive burst, the precision frames, do get to 17 meters a little bit easier. You don't need that many range perks on them, you don't need rangefinder. One of the outliers as far as sidearms, and one of my favorite weapons in the game, is Drang, a 300 adaptive. You need 4 headshots for a 0.6 TTK. If it's a 5 bullet kill, it's a 0.8 TTK. That ties hand cannons, and a 6 bullet kill is a 1 second TTK. That's all body shots. The deal with Drang, and we're talking about the Menagerie version here, the updated version, it has rangefinder built into it. It has a zoom factor. So a max range roll hits max damage at about 19.5 to 20 meters. Drang is one of the best sidearms in the entire game. You can go quick draw, moving target, or full auto, pairing those with Rampage, Swashbuckler, or Snapshot. And with something like Rampage or Swashbuckler, a damage dealing perk, it's going to allow you to keep damage past that 20 meter mark. It duels very well. And Drang in particular pairs really good with Revoker. This combination almost has that last word sniper feel, but with Revoker Drang, you have the ammo economy that goes with Revoker. There's so many good sidearms, so many that they all can't be talked about. My personal favorites are a Kill Clip or Rangefinder 3 burst, a Kill Clip Anonymous Autumn. I like Lonesome a lot. I like the aggressive Smuggler's Word with Kill Clip. I love Breachlight. My role is max range with Demolitionist and Vorpal. And then of course Drang. Drang is my favorite sidearm. And I wanted to talk about these things, a real quick and easy overview. The truth is, these two are about feel. All of them can work. But now let's talk about execution, playing that sniper sidearm playstyle. I personally play it aggressively. Sniper first, move up, get angles, and the sniper is my mid and long range option. Now, you could also play in the back, not as aggressive, and you can use the sidearm for rushers, but an aggressive sniper is the most unpredictable sniper because you're showing up in lanes and angles that normally don't have them in them. So I get into those lanes, and when I get rushed, it's sidearm time. Or when in close quarters an enemy is behind a wall, I can pull out the sidearm and get ready to duel. You get to a point with this playstyle where you start having a lot of control because you're moving cover to cover, hitting lanes with your sniper as you would, but then you're moving up more and more. Eventually, you're gonna find some resistance, getting close to those enemies, and when you do, you have the sidearm. You're basically trying to take away that mid-range duel. Just completely erase it, especially from the enemy that you're coming up on. That's gonna be your thought process, because you're forcing one of two things, sniper duels in long lanes, or you're wanting to get into sidearm distance duels. Now the sniping part is about position and movement. There will come a time when you need to duel with the sidearm, and when that happens, there are things that you need to consider. And I've talked about it before. Against shotgun rushers, players that are really aggressive, they're aggressive to a fault. Most of them just kind of beeline in a straight line. A lot of them do everything in their power not to duel you. It's a shotgun push, and if they fail it, they move again, they get a new angle, they shotgun push, and so on. They really have one thing on their mind. So with the sidearm, you expect this. They have one goal, to close that gap, get in your face. The same goes for someone using a bastion. Same goes for someone using a regular fusion. They need to close the gap to get within that range. You're doing the same thing, but with a sidearm, your job is to provoke and control that gunfight range. Your sweet spot is up to 20 meters, so 20 meters and in, because in a blink of an eye, a shotgun can get a 7-meter kill, not to mention the knee slide that comes beforehand when they're closing that gap. So one of the very first things that you need to do, and this is coming from my first Crucible tip video for Destiny 2, is that once you see red on your radar, you need to get out of sprint, because you're in a gunfight now. The worst thing you can do with a sidearm, when you see red, is getting caught in sprint, because imagine a 20-meter distance. It's very short in game. You're at one end, someone on the other end has a shotgun, you're both sprinting at each other. Who do you think wins? It's a really bad look for sidearms, so once you see red, kind of stop, get out of sprint. There's no need to literally run at them as they're running at you. Again, in your head, be thinking that you need the enemy to be 20 meters and in. You can bait them, because most are gonna be just coming right at you with the knee slide. When they do that, you backpedal, you create space. As they're closing the gap, you create space. That could be from the air, that could be a backpedal, that could be diagonal jump, that could be a lot of things. And that isn't to say that's what you need to do all the time, because there are times to push in, to sprint in. Maybe you see cover or a box that you can get over to fool them. Maybe they're half health, you can push in for a cleanup. Maybe your sidearm has swashbuckler, you want to melee them because they're low health. There are times to do those things. There are times to sprint right on in. But remember, keep in your mind these are very lethal 17 meters and in. You have a little bit of space after that, that's why collectively 20 meters and in, but you want to be dueling them within that range, because in that range they are very dominant. Here's a really good example by what I mean, and actually this is the end of the arbalest quick card I'm going to show at the end of this video. This is picture perfect. The guys that we were playing were very cool. We said GG's after, it was all fun, a very competitive match. This was Flawless Game 7. They pop a Stormcaller, I move away, I end up tagging a player with arbalest, and they get cleaned up by my teammate, so they're one down. As I see the Stormcaller coming in, I pop them with arbalest, they continue to push, and the sidearm cleans them up. After I down the Stormcaller, I get my reload in because I have kill clip. In case the third is coming at me, I have kill clip. I end up getting my health back. I need to go out there, make sure the last enemy isn't pushing the orbs. I grab more arbalest ammo. But right here is exactly what I mean by controlling that distance, controlling that gunfight, that engagement space. Because I come in, I kind of floof in, I do a burst glide. I see them pop a rift as I'm moving in. So game sense wise, on my end, when they popped that rift, that player 100% was peeking around the corner and watched me burst glide in, using that third person camera while popping the rift. So on their screen, I'm going straight for them. So when their rift animation is done, that player turns that corner, comes out with a shotgun because I'm coming in. Now on my end, when my burst glide was over, when my feet touched the ground, I immediately backpedaled because I baited that out. I baited them into that space I need them to be. Because if I continued more, say right here I just kept going and maybe jumped up there. Let's say I tried to land a couple sidearm shots and then beat them down, whatever it is, I lose, like period. I lose the round, they had a shotgun, it's not gonna happen. Instead, I controlled that space, because in this space right here, there's not much they can do. They had their shot at what they wanted to do, and now it's kind of at the sidearm's mercy. And to kind of talk about this a little bit more, if they didn't jump down after they popped that rift, I would still control that distance. I would try to keep them right on my sidearm range. If they rushed me, that would be the set gap, that would be the set distance that they would have to cross to come shotgun me. But with how it happened so quick. I came in, almost faked the rush, backed up, and they played right into me. So for PvP wise, like the biggest stage, Game 7, Trials of Osiris, it can work, it does work. So really think about the idea of two engagement distances, mid and long for sniper, and then close to mid for sidearm. Navigate the map for those two things to happen. When it comes time to use the sidearm, control the space the best that you can. Because again, they're very lethal if you can get them in that space. It's a very lethal combination. And this brings me to arbalest. Go back to a time to when Komodo came out, remembering all the arbalest that was on the maps. Remember how tough they were to duel. Remember how you got shot right through flinch and somehow they still got you. That's all still there. Arbalest has crazy good aim assist, magnetism, and the biggest thing, the zoom. With what I was doing with the sniper sidearm, I feel I can do better with arbalest sidearm simply because of that zoom factor. It makes those mid-range shots a lot easier. It even makes close range shots easier. I have all the benefits of the playstyle, but it's at the cost of a charge time. The charge time doesn't bother me, because I feel I have more engagement distance freedom with arbalest. There are lots of good weapons that have charge times. Now, it may bother some of you, and that's okay. But with this snipe and move playstyle, that zoom factor is huge for what you want to do. And with arbalest, another thing I like is that in any game mode, especially Trials, arbalest does have disruption break. So breaking an enemy's shields makes them vulnerable to kinetic damage for a short time. So if you body shot them, they're vulnerable to kinetic damage for 5 seconds. You get 50% more damage on them if you're using a kinetic weapon. That isn't for you, that's for your team. Meaning, even if they use a rift or a worm husk, a teammate can still 2-tap them with a hand cannon since they're debuffed. That's any kinetic weapon doing 50% more damage. So really huge in something like Trials. The 50% damage is also on body shots, so say you body shot them with an arbalest, they try to get away, they're running through a lane, and a teammate across the map shoots them with a hand cannon body shot. Say it would have done 30 to the body, since they're that far away, but since they're debuffed, it did 45. It could be the difference. The arbalest sidearm is a very strong loadout, and I do encourage you to try it. Of course, if arbalest isn't your thing, then maybe not. but it's very strong. And as a closing, for my class item for arbalest, I run double light conductor for more super energy on linear fusion kills. For sniping, double remote connection. That way you get more super energy for those kills, because that's the main thing that you're doing. You're sniping. And I'm also running targeting and unflinching perks. For the end here, I do have those highlights game 1 through 7. Shouldn't take too long. Some are just a highlight from a round. It's just showcasing arbalest sidearm. There are some chromatic fire arbalest collaterals as well. It was really fun. And remember, with these things, you're sniping first and you're provoking the sidearm range. If you're new here, remember to hit the sub button. And if you are, thank you so much for your support. What are your favorite loadouts for this playstyle? Your favorite snipers, your favorite sidearms, and what perks do you like on them? Now, if you don't play this playstyle, what about it don't you like? Would you rather just go sniper hand cannon, or maybe not at all? Let's talk about it down below. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.
Guardian down.
The enemy team has fallen. You shook them. You got two. Yes, 2 down. More to go.
Guardian down.
Your team tore through them. Our enemies will fall before your mysteries. Tear them apart. You have flat.
Guardian down.
Opponents. Strong start. Your team tore through them like. Yes, you have.
Guardian down.
Yes, 2 down. More to go. They all fall before you. The opposing team is down.
Guardian down.
The match is yours. Celebrate. I will join you. One minute left, my friend.
Guardian down.
Ha! There. Good. Your enemy is down. One minute left, my friend. Ha! Don't stop! Your enemies are down. Fight begins. They tried very hard to kill you. 1 minute left, my friend.
Guardian down.
Opponent crushed. Do it.
Guardian down. Guardian down.
Fight your way to the top, and soon I will see you again and again. Those you have triumphed over will look to your example, your guidance, your hope. These will be precious tools in the trying times to come. Fight, win, and fight again. This is your duty.